Now, from the very start of this channel, I've never ever tried to claim that I'm some kind of expert on economics or expert on the European Union or expert on trade negotiations and trade deals. There's plenty of really good YouTubers out there that will give you that sort of information. What I do know though is when I see a big giant pile of steaming poo. I'm going to say poo, I don't want to swear anymore. Poo. I know a big pile of poo when I see it. And that's basically, you know, what I do. I'm just a simple guy just trying to make sense of what I see in front of me. And what I see in front of me right now is a big pile of poo. And I've just recently had people in my comment sections trying to tell me that it isn't a big pile of steaming poo. The media, BBC, the Labour Party, the Conservative Party seem to be ignoring this big giant pile of poo. But it's there and I can see it, and loads of people can see it, and it's annoying me. And when people try and say that it's not a big pile of steaming poo, it gets me angry. Like this, for instance.
On this one farm, there are 750,000 unpicked courgettes, 150 tonnes worth of vegetables that have simply been left to rot. That's because they can't get the staff. And if this continues, it will force farms like this one to make difficult decisions about their future.
It's been thrown on the ground and we haven't had staff to pack that, and customers have gone short.
Julian Marks has found this year problematic, as the pandemic and Brexit has made persuading European pickers to return virtually impossible.
Restricting free movement has had a devastating impact, but not just on horticulture or agriculture, on pretty much every sector where people from abroad have been working in those sectors for years, and now they're going home.
Now, how in any way, shape or form is that not just a big giant pile of poo? How can anyone say that this is a benefit? This is what we voted for. This is Brexit. This is great.
Did you suspect that this might happen?
I think that we thought that there was a possibility, but what we didn't see was how extreme it would be. I think it's the extremities of the reaction of people to it. I think that's what has taken the business by surprise.
5 miles away, a field full of wasted courgettes. The fear for farms like this one is that British supermarkets will look to the EU to fill their empty shelves.
Now, as you can see, I'm in a bit of a bad mood this morning. Maybe it's the weather, it's raining. I was planning to go out on my kayak on the sea today, but that's not going to happen because I ain't got much work on. So I'm in a bit of a bad mood. I had a few conversations with Brexit supporters in the comment section, and it's got me a little bit angry. But that segment just finished there, didn't it? Supermarkets are going to look to export from the EU. Now, how can you defend this? Like, the argument is that we need to stop relying on cheap labour from the EU. That's the argument that I keep hearing, and it sounds like a good, honest argument. Yeah, we shouldn't, you know, pay these guys pittance to come over here and work absolutely back-breaking jobs. But this is an argument against capitalism. This is capitalism. Coming out of the EU is not going to change it. All coming out of the EU does is we're still playing the same game, but now our hands are tied behind our backs. I mean, if you really feel strongly about this stuff, then I guess the only way you can deal with it is by some sort of revolution in this country, an overhaul of the government, and a completely new system put in its place. But if your argument is that you're fed up of cheap labour, then that's just an argument against capitalism. As the guy just said, all that's going to happen now is that supermarkets, they need to fill their shelves, and if crops and courgettes, with this example, are rotting in the fields and not making it to the supermarkets, then they're just going to export from the EU at a higher expense. And guess what labour the EU use to farm their farms? Cheap EU labour. How are you solving the problem by coming out of Brexit? And this is what makes me so angry. And you know, the other argument is, well, now we've got British workers, they'll be paid a decent wage because they've got no one to farm the farms, then the wages will go up and British workers will fill that. Well, we know that there's not enough British workers to fill those jobs, and even if there were, you start paying British workers a higher wage, what's going to happen? Well, the price of courgettes are going to go up, aren't they? So great, some British workers are going to farm the farms and they're going to get paid much more for it, but then what happens when they go down to Lidl or Asda to go buy their food? Oh, shock horror, the prices have gone up. So what have you solved? You're earning more money, but the price of stuff is more expensive. I say, I'm really not an economist. I'm not. I'm just trying to make sense of this the best I can with the evidence that's put in front of me, and the evidence that is just constantly put in front of me is just a big pile of poo. And that's all I see, is a big giant pile of poo. And government are ignoring the poo. People for some reason are defending the poo to the death. The poo is going to bring great prosperity to this country. It's not. It's a steaming pile of poo. It's always going to be a big steaming pile of poo, and that's what it's going to be for years to come until we get rid of the poo and flush it down the toilet. I think that poo analogy is gone. I've exhausted it. I feel a bit better after that rant, I think. As always, give me your thoughts, guys, and let me know in the comment section. I'm going to repeat again, I'm endlessly still having problems with my comment section. Some comments that some replies that I make to your comments disappear for some reason. You've always got Instagram if you want to message me directly. That's I put it in the description. I put the link to my Instagram in the description of every video I do. Until next time, take care.